It's time for a post-NFL draft edition of Overreaction Monday, brought to you by PayPal, the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL. Welcome to this edition, fresh back from Pittsburgh, PA.
Sir.
I am Rich Eisen alongside Chris Brockman. Good to see you, Christopher.
Hey, man, how are you feeling, dude?
I'm good.
Yeah?
257 picks in, fresh as a daisy, ready for Overreaction Monday, Rich Eisen Show for the week.
I love it, man. I love it.
Hit the ground running, and it was great.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was phenomenal. Showed up, showed out.
Yeah.
800,000 people.
Set a record.
Couldn't have been a better week there for the draft.
City was lit figuratively, literally, beautifully, incredibly, and I woke up Monday morning humming Renegade in my head.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, in the same way that I used to play Tetris all the time, and you'd close your eyes and you'd still see the pieces drop. I just Renegade over and over and over again.
By the way, don't hate it. Love that song.
And the Steelers fans waving their towels, going crazy every single time that they were on the clock, booing the heck out of the Ravens every single time they were on the clock. And then just some great surprises and warm moments as well. That's what the drafts are all about.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Thursday night, some surprises. Obviously, the Ty Simpson pick. I imagine there's something
we will talk about that
in your arsenal for today
for sure.
about that for Overreaction Monday. And then day three, two of the best moments in the draft happened in day three. The Eagles going into the international program and choosing Allar Bernard out of Nigeria, and his height, weight, speed, rep, and comp is Myles Garrett.
Yeah, we can't
251st
keep
overall.
letting them get away with this.
And
man,
he
you know what I mean?
came out with the Nigerian flag. That was incredible. And that was after the Bengals chose a Navy man in Landon Robinson with the Pat Tillman pick, 226. And then 4 picks later, the Steelers chose another Navy player, but he's a local guy, Eli Heidendreich, who was in the green room dressed in his uniform.
Very cool, man.
He comes out, place goes nuts. Yeah. It was incredible. So great job by Pittsburgh at the draft. Great job by everybody covering it, to be quite honestly. Us, ESPN, the whole Megillah. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Overreaction Monday, post-NFL draft. Hit it.
That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, go for it, Christopher.
Rich, let's get right to it. You alluded to it, and I want to just start off with it. You know, I'm a Rams season ticket holder. I like them. You're a renowned Rams fan in your house,
Yes.
or everyone knows it.
Yes, right.
They're going to wish they had taken Rueben Bain or Makai Lemon last week. Like, come on, man. This wasted pick on Ty Simpson.
I don't know about it yet. We just won't. We won't. We simply will not. The idea that they chose Ty Simpson 13 in a year that Matthew Stafford's coming off of his MVP season.
Maybe the best year of his career.
Correct. Age 38. Who knows how many more years you have left for him to play, that they go ahead and look over the steering wheel for the future and choose somebody who, if he plays this year, it will be because it's an either A, unmitigated disaster,
right,
or B, they get him some reps just to keep him fresh in a win or whatever. And so, yes, Rueben Bain was on the board. Makai Lemon was on the board. That 100% makes you think, why would you do that? And then on top of it, was anybody going to maybe get Ty Simpson 15th, 17th, 20th overall? You trade down and you could still get him? So these are all legitimate questions to be asked. And 1,000,000% will be brought up if somehow, some way, the Rams don't make it as far as they want to. And you could... because you're going to nitpick. I don't think somebody's going to say, well, if you had the defensive player of the year, if Rueben Bain becomes the defensive rookie of the year, right? Then you can point that out. So I don't know if anyone's going to be bringing up the draft if they lose an NFC championship game in February of 2027. But when it's all said and done, we don't know. The alternative is they do win the Super Bowl this year. They do put another one in the case. Matthew Stafford's like, you know what? I want to see if we can do it again. They have a successful year. Obviously, an ultimate success would be they repeat, and then they hand it off to Ty Simpson, who comes out of the box looking like Jordan Love. And now we're talking about the Rams like we talk about the Packers. Well, you go from Goff, make a Super Bowl, don't win it, to Stafford, win a Super Bowl, and then win another one. He's an MVP. And now you've got a kid who is mind melded with Sean McVay. Everything that I hear is one of the things they love about him is his ability to remember plays and his ability to get into the X's and O's, deep into it. Like, I remember when I looked this guy off in quarter 3 of game 4, and he's got a similar brain tissue to Sean McVay and a skill set that they like a lot, that this is why they did it. And that they are completely in lockstep, Les and McVay, Les Snead and McVay. But what if that happens? Then we'll be talking about this like they are geniuses. We don't know. The way I've just described it is not out of the realm. You can't.
We definitely don't know. But
we don't know. And that's the thing about the draft.
You get better by playing, and you develop by playing.
Correct.
And I go back to what Joel Klatt told us on Friday. Like, this kid may not play only one season in 6 or 7 years.
Right. Correct.
That is kind of a big red flag for me.
No, I understand it. I get what you're saying. I understand what the criticisms are, and I understand that we just don't know.
Yeah.
So I will call this an overreaction. It is entirely possible, though. It's not out of the realm. Either way, the way you're, proposing it with the topic bar and the way that I'm talking about it, anybody out there can go, Brockman's right.
Yeah.
And other people might be like, Rich is right. We just don't know. And so let's just play it out. And by the way, they also got Trent McDuffie with the 29th overall pick.
I get it.
So it's not like they got nothing for this season. They got something highly significant that could put Stafford on short fields or up by 7 before he even takes a snap.
There's also a reason Kansas City let him go.
What else you got over there?
Okay, Rich. Thinking about, one of the big teams, Eagles. We talk about them all the time. They always come out of these drafts, looking like roses. We know that they are going to most likely trade A.J. Brown come June 1st, but they did a lot to replace him in the draft. Makai Lemon, in free agency, they made trades, Dontavian Wicks, et cetera, et cetera. Eli Stowers, too. I really wanted him in New England. This is the ultimate prove-it season for Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia.
What do you mean he's not already proved? Prove what? Prove what? That he could.
Is he going to
go to the Super Bowl a third time in his career?
Is he going to be the quarterback after next season, the year after? Is he going to get another contract there? Like, we've heard behind the scenes that they have one big problem, right? And Jalen Hurts wears number 1. Why is maybe their best offensive player pissed all the time at him? This guy seems like there's a lot of question marks surrounding him still, even though he was Super Bowl MVP and played great in another one. This guy still has a lot to prove.
Well, I mean, they have a new offensive coordinator, and if Jalen Hurts doesn't have A.J. Brown there and has all these new receivers, so it will be on him to gel things. And I think also the offensive line's got to wear some of this too, Chris. I think Sirianni's got to wear some of this as well. I think this being a year in which they won the division but didn't make the playoff, didn't playoff winner's circle. Right. They didn't win a playoff game. They got one and done at home, by San Francisco. So yeah, man, like this is something that collectively they must own.
Quarterback gets the headlines, gets most of the grief.
The prove it is he's made the Super Bowl twice, and both had the games of his life. And in the biggest spots.
But there's still question marks surrounding his ability to push the ball downfield, to read the defense, to just be that dude.
I agree that if you change out A.J. Brown and you change out the offensive coordinator and you change the way things are going, it normally would be right on the quarterback to say, well, now you are officially the problem. What happens to the idea that it's all new to everybody and everybody collectively must gel together, especially the guy who plays quarterback who's only had the same offensive coordinator in back-to-back years once in his career, and that was Shane Steichen before he left and started a year-by-year switch at that crucial in the headset, in the film room job. I honestly, so I'll call this an overreaction, but in the same way that I say I can see what you're saying about the Ty Simpson Rams pick, there's no doubt the phone lines will light up in Philadelphia. There's no doubt
for sure.
the topic bars and the split screens will be going haywire on all the cable networks.
Whose seat is hotter this year, Hurts or Sirianni?
If I had to guess, I'd go the coach.
Okay.
I'd go I mean, they're getting rid. If you're saying Hurts is the intractable one, and they're getting rid of the wide receiver, the coach will be next. I'd imagine. Or neither.
You don't think Howie might be the guy to be like, you know what, Jalen, thank you for your service. We paid you. We got a trophy.
I don't know this contract off the top of my head.
You know,
to
maybe
see how the money
afterwards.
talks, the cap ramifications talk. I can't imagine that. No. What else?
I don't put anything past Howie. Rich, okay. This really hurts me to say, not Jalen, actual physical pain.
Nice.
The Jets won the draft this year. Like, I'm looking their pick. I'm watching the first round. 3 picks this year. They have 3 picks next year, okay?
Correct. Yeah.
That should be 6 starters who are really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, they got that guy? They get Cooper? Sadiq? Really?
Don't forget they got D'Angelo Pons 50th overall, too.
Sneaky great pick. That guy was so good in the college football playoff. I'm like, ugh.
They got 4 of the first 50, and they got bona fide big men on campus studs, including 2,
obviously Bailey,
2 guys from the national championship game coming in with the Signetti stamp of approval and coaching pedigree. And, David Bailey graduating Stanford in 3 years, going and get the bag from Texas Tech and leading the FBS in sacks.
Their defense was no joke.
And the names of the players who come to the NFL with as much experience as he has, and leading the league, leading college in sacks at least once in their careers. Others who have done that, Von Miller and T. Sizzle, Chase Young. There have been some really successful players, although I mentioned 2 Hall of Famers before I mentioned the Buckeye there. The Jets did very well with 4 of the top 50. They also went and got Cade Klubnik for their back pocket as a quarterback to, groom and bring along if somehow, some way next year doesn't work out. But yeah, I keep saying it on the flagship show, for Jets fans to be asked over and over and over again to believe in a new general manager for yet another rebuild, using players that they were initially told, these are the guys we're going to finally win it with. Nope, we're going to actually trade those guys to get the draft choices for the new guys that we're going to win it with. That you need to believe, you need to see something. And again, with the draft, one never knows. But Kenyon Sadiq, to bring him to the Jets and put him in an offense where I know Garrett Wilson was hurt last year, but 395 yards receiving, led the team in receiving. A total complete disaster last year. But you're now adding Sadiq, and you're adding also Omar Cooper Jr. to that offense. 2 guys that if you could point to in the college football playoffs, say, if you can get those 2 with your picks, you're in good shape. So, yes, they put their markers down using the draft capital very well.
Yeah.
And there could be some other teams that wind up winning the draft. Let's see what the Cowboys look like on defense with all those new defensive players that they got. I liked what the Steelers did as well, just to name 2 other teams. But this is not an overreaction. This is something where, you choose 4 of the top 50 and you got 3 first rounders in your pocket next year for supposedly a better draft with a quarterback class that's deeper than this one. That's not a bad. That's not a. I can't say that that's too far off.
It was really painful for me to say that.
So okay,
Thank
you got through it though.
I did. Thank you. Okay, Rich. Here's the deal. Draft was in Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir. Can confirm.
Steelers.
Yes.
Fans everywhere.
Yeah.
They're excited. They should be. They got a playoff team. They got a new coach. Excitement's high. They don't have a quarterback still.
Well, they got Drew Allar.
Now we're talking, Rich Eisen. Drew Allar is going to start the most games at quarterback for the Steelers next year.
I don't know. Let's see if Rodgers comes back. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming back. And if Aaron Rodgers is coming back, he's going to start all 17 games unless he gets hurt. And then we'll see who's next. As soon as Allar got drafted, Ian Rappaport joined the NFL Network draft broadcast to say that Mason Rudolph, this means he gets moved. And so now you've got two youngins and you've got a veteran. Similar, dare I say, to what the Cleveland Browns setup was last year, although it's not two rookies behind a long-time 40-year-old dude. It's a second-year player, but practically a rookie because Will Howard was hurt for a good portion of last year. And, two Big Ten, dudes, one who won a national championship, one who did not have a great college career due to injury. And on the other aspect that Joe Klatt kept saying is that James Franklin was running an offense that did not suit Drew Allar.
Right, didn't showcase him, but by all accounts, this guy's got all the skills. I mean, he was talking about maybe a top of the first round guy before he, got hurt and kind of had a disappointing end of his college career.
And this is apparently why you got one of the reasons why you went and hired Mike McCarthy is that he brings quarterbacks along. So will he wind up, starting a game this year? I mean, Quinn Ewers was drafted in the 7th round last year.
Most likely,
and drafted
yes.
some at the end of the season, but that was because the dam had already broken and everything was a disaster in Miami.
But we get 60 to 65 starting quarterbacks during
the
season.
I know that, but if Rodgers is coming back, I mean that's it. I mean that's the end of it. I mean he did miss one start last year.
But weren't we supposed to have an answer before the draft? That's what he said originally. It was free agency.
I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it could be.
Mike Tomlin did make his debut on NBC during the basketball.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin made his broadcasting debut more than sooner than Rodgers has made his decision.
Yeah, which is wild. That shouldn't be the case.
But it is, as they say, what it is. And unless there's something in his personal life that we're completely unfamiliar with, or there is just a way that he does his business, a decision is going to get made, and I think he's coming back. But the Drew Allar pick was, as we would say, noted. I noted that. And
I kind of went, oh, okay.
I know.
All right.
I know. And by the way, a huge cheer in the crowd for that, too.
A couple hours away.
But they were also playing Renegade. So I'll say this is an overreaction, pretty much, for sure. So as you know, this show is brought to you by PayPal, which is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, they're covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. The account with PayPal is required. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates. Second half, go for it, Chris.
Second half, and I want to stay in the AFC North. You know who's put together another great draft for the second year in a row? Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I believe they're going to be no worse than second in the AFC North this year.
Well, I'll say this is an overreaction right off the top. But in the same way that you could say that the Jets won the draft, you could sit here and say Andrew Berry's done a very nice job drafting players over the last 2 years and managing the draft as well. And I'm going to ask my guy Mike Hoskins, who's in the control room right now, to call up the if you will, graphic that we have created for the Monday show on the Travis Hunter trade.
Oh, and
it's now complete.
What we reaped, okay.
It's now complete, and it's very impressive at the end of the day what the Browns did with that. Because you've got yourself 7 picks involved. No subsequent trades. Normally those do sort of,
and it's
branch out.
Yeah, spider.
What ended up happening on draft night is the Jaguars moving up one spot, got a 4th and 6th last year.
Okay.
The Browns moved down 3 spots, got a 2nd and a 4th last year, and picked up the 1st round pick of Jacksonville in this year's draft. And we now know the players and who they are involved. So the Jaguars, in moving up, wound up getting 2 other picks and chose Bashal Tutin, who's
probably going to be the starter.
Not probably. They've got a starting running back, and Rayon Lane the third. Okay.
Okay.
And then the Browns moved down, as you know, snagged Mason Graham, terrific. Got Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson in last year's draft, and this year turned the first rounder into KC Concepcion. That's excellent. I mean, there's no other way to put it other than excellent.
Yeah, you got to say Cleveland won.
And then on Thursday night they wound up trading down from 6 to 9, so the Chiefs could go up and take Mansour Delane.
Right.
And what they ended up still getting Spencer Fano, and then got another tackle with a 3rd round pick in that trade in Austin Barber. So they got 2 pieces to their offensive line rather than just one, and with the one being the guy that they still got anyway by moving down 3 spots. And they still have in their back pocket a 4th from the Giants and a 4th from the Seahawks in next year's draft. It's really, really
They're
well
doing
done.
a great
You have
job,
to give it up.
man.
You're still scratching your head over Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders? Like
Sure.
that, you're still scratching your head
we don't
years
know
later?
who the quarterback is, but
still, no, there's still the rest of the AFC North to talk about. But you have to give the Browns their flowers. You really do.
Absolutely, Rich. And here's the thing. Thinking about other winners from Thursday and over the weekend, I feel like Tyler Shuck was a big winner. Jordan Tyson goes there. He really played well to end the season last year.
They also got a tight end for him in Oscar Delp, too.
Yeah.
From Georgia.
And then we know those Georgia boys can play. Rich, the Saints won't be picking in the top half of next year's NFL.
Top
draft.
half?
Won't be picking in the top half.
You're really pushing the pedal to the metal on the overreaction.
Well, I thought about saying top 10, top 12.
half.
I'm going to go top half. The Saints are going to be – who's the best team in that division? Every year that division
Carolina
is so
got
wide open.
so much better, man.
It's so wide open.
Too, and they won the division last year.
Sure, but are you –
albeit under 500
But
in
are you
Atlanta.
absolutely sold on Bryce Young?
I understand that
Who
there's
is the
questions.
quarterback in Atlanta? Tampa's got some
Top
question marks.
half.
Mike Evans is gone. Devontae David retired.
Top half. I mean, Rueben Bain got picked right in the middle of the first round by an 8-9 team.
Right.
Okay. The Falcons' choice, 8-9, was 13th overall.
Why can't we go 9-8?
All right.
Shuck, baby.
I understand that there's reasons for feeling good in that neighborhood. I kind of dig it. I'm rooting for Jordan Tyson. Did you see he was wearing his brother Jalen's shoes?
Okay.
Because, Jalen was busy playing in the NBA playoffs for the Cavs, so he wanted his brother to be with him on
cool.
draft night.
I dig that.
And so, yeah, I like what the Saints have been cooking, but top half of the 2027 NFL draft, I will just call an overreaction for the moment and ask you to move on. What else you got over there, Christopher?
Number 3 overall, Jeremiyah Love gets picked, and kind of like, whoa, even though we had kind of been hearing about it, it's still kind of surprising to hear a running back's name at 3rd overall. Still, everyone kind of consensus best player in the draft, right? Can't miss the speed, the size. We met him in Indy. He's going to be the first rookie running back since Ezekiel Elliott to lead the NFL in rushing yards. 2016, Zeke led the NFL in rushing yards.
No, I don't know. He's got the ultimate. Just ask anybody who's used to have Bijan Robinson as a rookie. He's got the ultimate vulture on his team now, and Tyler Algier.
Yeah, but Algier was there the last 2 years.
Arthur Smith's not the offensive coordinator there, and James Conner's coming back. I mean, there's going to be some There's going to be some sharing of the football. There's just going to be.
I think you're going to watch this dude play, and you're going to be like, well, he's got to touch it 20 times a game.
I understand that. There's ways of working it all where he's also coming out of the backfield to catch it. I just think there's too many mouths to feed to sit here and say that they're going to feed him like Zeke,
James Cook had 1,600 yards last year. He can't get to 1,600 yards?
Not with two other guys who are, veterans and also 100%, bona fide veterans who carry the rock. I don't think James Conner's coming back and rehabbing just to go, oh, sure, this is all good. One could get traded in training camp. I don't know.
Feels like they got too many.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
All right.
But still, I'm with you on the excitement. I'm with you on the optimism. I think that the Cardinals made the right move. I think that they got a generationally terrific player with a heart of a champion. And also when we met him at the combine, he's just like, I want to play special teams.
I want to be a Hall of Famer. I don't want to come off the field.
You know what I mean? I understand your optimism and your excitement.
He's not gonna play special teams.
But I think that's the way it's going to go. And there's an offensive line that is in play here too, right? So
true. I'm excited.
And Cardinals fans have every right to be. So you want to finish up strong?
Last one, Rich.
Yeah.
Last one, Rich Eisen.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you can have maybe the best defensive player fall to you at number 5, I think you kind of are a big winner.
Okay.
I think the Giants are big winners. And and Malik Neighbors said, "What are we doing taking him?" Well, come on. The Giants are going to have the most ferocious pass rush in 2026.
I don't think that's an overreaction. They basically kept Kayvon Thibodeau. They announced that pretty much at the draft, is that they're going to hold on to him.
By the way, they still have Brian Burns.
Right.
Beast.
Right.
I was going to...
Abdul Carter.
I'm like, come on.
Like, if
the
you
two best Big Ten pass rushers
in the last 2 years, correct,
are now on the Giants.
That is correct.
With John Harbaugh, who, by the way, maybe you guys forgot, always had great defenses in Baltimore.
Right.
Always.
And I think the fact that Arvell Reese dropped to them at 5 caused them to maybe change their plan at 10.
Probably.
That Carnell Tate goes 4 and Love goes 3.
Whoa.
That I don't think the Giants sitting in their facility, gaming this out, mocking it out, had both Love and Tate going before them.
No.
And thus they would be able to wind up with whoever the Jets left on the board defensively. I don't think they had that gamed out too many times.
Was it Ian who said he tried to game out the top 5?
And it never happened.
And it never happened where Reese fell.
Right, where Reese fell. Correct, to 5. Because nobody traded up in between the Jets and the Giants.
Right.
And nobody went off the board between the Jets and the Giants on defense. How many mock drafts anywhere had Carnell Tate being the first Buckeye taken?
Right.
Out of Reese, Styles, and Downs being the other 3.
Definitely not.
That Carnell Tate was, I don't know what that was on sites, on places where Americans put their hard-earned dollars to wager. But I think that affected them at 10 as well, that they probably didn't game it out where Francis Maui Noah was available for them at 10 either. So to come away with Reese and Maui Noah is great.
Like 2 maybe top 5 guys?
I know. And so what they do with Reese is crucial, obviously. And hopefully Maui Noah does, in fact, develop and is a crucial member of this offensive line. Hopefully he's the real deal. Because if not, they passed on one of the more surefire guys in the draft. And arguably, you could put there that Caleb Downs might have been the most surefire guy out of all 4 Buckeyes in the draft, with all due respect to all the other ones. They might all wind up being studs. But Downs is the guy that throughout his career at Alabama and then going to Ohio State, everyone's pointing at and saying, that's the pro.
Right.
That's the guy.
Yeah, since
he can't miss.
Basically.
Right. He can't miss. And the Giants don't take him. The Cowboys go and take him. And we had Brian Schottenheimer on the NFL Network draft coverage on day 3. And I asked him, like, hey, not to tell you how to do your job, but are you going to point out to Caleb Downs who left him on the board for you to take when you're playing the Giants, do you go up to him the week of that game and say, hey,
this is who passed
fresh
on
reminder,
Yeah.
you could have been, by the way, a legacy with the Giants. His dad played there.
Right.
And they left you on the board, and we are the ones who took you. And he goes, oh, I don't have to bring that up. He's already brought that up to me and pointed out the Commanders also left him on the board.
Right.
And the Commanders took his teammate from college.
Right.
So this is all out there, and it's really awesome. It's fun, and it's intense, and everyone could wind up being right. Somebody could be wrong. And I'll just say this is not an overreaction at the end of the day. You better have your hard hats when the Giants are coming to town. And
whatever the sacks record is for
Right.
teams in a season, I think the Giants are going to threaten that.
Correct. And I don't know what Malik Neighbors is talking about. I would just say in Harbaugh and the new brain trust, you should trust. And I think he will at the end of the day if he already doesn't. Good job, sir.
Thanks, man.
That'll wrap it up for this edition of Overreaction Monday. We've got a full slate on the Monday flagship show. Daniel Jeremiyah, who I just spent an insane amount of time with, is going to be our first guest to review everything that we just discussed. And we're back in our Los Angeles studios after a fun week in Pittsburgh. Good job, Chris.
All right, good job by
For
you.
Chris Brockman, I'm Rich Eisen saying peace out from this first ever Overreaction Monday presented by PayPal. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.